Have you ever paused in the middle of your supposedly good life and thought, why do I feel nothing? The career is moving, the relationship looks fine on paper, your apartment is decent, your social media life even looks impressive. And yet, there it is, a hollow space inside you. Not sadness, not depression, not loneliness. Something colder, quieter, harder to explain. Emptiness. And here's the part you never say out loud. You feel guilty for feeling this way, because you know you're not suffering. You know others have it worse. You tell yourself you should be grateful. But guilt doesn't fill the void, and the void doesn't go away. Freud would tell you, this emptiness is not a flaw. It's not ingratitude. It's not weakness. It's a message, a signal, a shadow of something inside you that once lived and no longer does. Today, we're going to decode that message. This video will show you where emptiness actually comes from, why success makes it worse, not better, the exact psychological mechanism Freud discovered, how childhood repression creates adult numbness, how to begin healing the void instead of running from it. This won't be comfortable, but you didn't come to Freudora for comfort. You came for truth. Let's go. The modern epidemic no one talks about. Look around. Everyone is achieving more and feeling less. More stimulation, more content, more choice, more access, and somehow, more emptiness. You wake up, grab your phone before your thoughts even form, and immediately confront other people's lives. Curated, filtered, polished. You go through your day performing tasks that don't feel meaningful, surrounded by people who can't see the truth behind your eyes. You stay busy because silence feels dangerous. You stay distracted because stillness feels unbearable. Because when you stop moving, you feel it, the void. But here's the twist Freud discovered. Emptiness isn't the absence of something. It's the presence of something repressed. People think emptiness is a hole. It's not. It's a container filled with the parts of yourself you were forced to abandon. Desires you weren't allowed to feel. Emotions you weren't allowed to express. Needs you were shamed for having. Authenticity you were punished for showing. Every time you silenced a real part of yourself, you carved out a piece of your inner world. And the shape left behind? That's the emptiness you feel today. Let me show you how this works in real life. David, success with no soul. David is 34, successful, travels, nice apartment, beautiful Instagram feed. But every night, alone in his room, he scrolls through other people's lives, feeling like a ghost watching the living. He tries to force excitement, but nothing registers. He's achieved everything he believed would make him happy, and yet he feels less alive than ever. Because now he sees the truth. The goals were never the problem. The void was. Maya, love without connection. Maya is with a partner who loves her deeply. He treats her well. He's stable, consistent, everything she thought she wanted. And she feels nothing. When he touches her, it's like touching glass. When he speaks about the future, she smiles politely, but it feels foreign. She isn't cold, she isn't broken, she's disconnected from herself. Because you can't receive love if the parts designed to feel love were buried years ago. James, running from silence. James works 70-hour weeks. He calls it ambition, drive, determination. But Freud would call it something else: avoidance. He's terrified of the quiet, because in the quiet, the question appears, is this all my life is going to be? So he runs, he produces, he stays busy, he never stops. Because if he stops, the emptiness might catch him. Different lives, different stories, same void. And maybe you recognize yourself in one of them. The real reason the void exists. Freud's map. To understand the emptiness, we need Freud's map of the psyche. 3 forces inside you. 1. The id, the child. Raw desire, pleasure, instinct, expression. The honest, hungry, emotional core of you. I want, I need, give me. 2. The superego, the judge. Internalized parents, teachers, culture, religion, rules, morality, shame. You shouldn't. That's wrong. That's too much. 3. The ego, the negotiator, trying desperately to keep the peace. But here's where the emptiness comes from. When the superego becomes too strong, the ego represses the id. It doesn't negotiate. It eliminates. This is repression, and repression is the birthplace of the void. Because the parts of you that were silenced, your anger, your ambition, your sexuality, your vulnerability, your real needs, your real desires, didn't die. They went underground, and from the shadows, they hollowed you out. You're not empty because life isn't good enough. You're empty because you abandoned yourself to survive your life. The lost object, the thing you're really chasing. Freud talked about the lost object, not a literal object, but the earliest source of pleasure, safety, wholeness. For a baby, it's the mother's presence. For a child, it's unconditional love. For a teenager, it's the freedom to be themselves. But we all lose it. Some never had it in the first place. And adulthood becomes a desperate attempt to find it again. That's why nothing satisfies you. The job isn't the missing piece. The partner isn't the missing piece. The body, the money, the status, the likes, the trips, none of them are the missing piece. Because what you're actually seeking is the part of you that had to disappear. That is the lost object. And you can't buy it. You can't date it. You can't earn it. You can only remember it. The reason you repeat painful patterns. Freud called it repetition compulsion. You unconsciously recreate past wounds. You choose partners like the parent who ignored you. You chase jobs that demand perfection, like a childhood that punished mistakes. You sabotage success because you never felt worthy of having anything good. You're not stupid. You're repeating what was familiar, trying, without knowing, to finally win a battle that started in childhood. But the past cannot be healed by repeating it, only by revealing it. The death drive, the nature of numbness. Freud had another concept, thanatos, the death drive. Not literal death, psychic death. Stillness, numbness, shutdown. When wanting becomes too painful, when striving becomes exhausting, when desire feels dangerous, your psyche chooses the safest path. Feel nothing. Better numb than disappointed. Better empty than rejected. Better hollow than hurt. Emptiness becomes protection, but protection becomes prison. The modern world makes emptiness worse. Let's fast forward to your life today. You wake up and immediately enter the digital hall of mirrors. Everyone's achievements, everyone's perfect bodies, everyone's happy relationships. You compare your insides to their outsides, and the void expands. You go to work, smile, perform, pretend. You're praised for being productive, but deep down you know you're just busy. Busy enough to not feel. You come home exhausted, not from the work, from the performance. And you distract yourself with screens, food, noise, anything, because silence is unbearable. But why? Because silence is where the truth lives, and today's world is designed to help you avoid it. Convenience, content, consumption. We've built a world that lets you escape your inner world completely. But avoidance is expensive, and the price is your soul. The truth. You aren't empty because of the present. The emptiness isn't about your job, your relationship, your success, your failures, your circumstances. It's about what was missing when you needed it most. Maybe your caregivers were inconsistent. Maybe love was conditional. Maybe you had to be good to be accepted. Maybe you had to be quiet to stay safe. Maybe your emotions were too much. Maybe your desires were shamed. So you disconnected from yourself, piece by piece, desire by desire, emotion by emotion, until adulthood arrived, and all that remained was the performance. That's the void, the outline of the self you left behind. The only way out. Freud's solution. And here's where Freud was revolutionary. The cure for emptiness isn't filling it, it's facing it. Not with distractions, not with fake positivity, not with gratitude, not with hustle, but by bringing the unconscious into consciousness. By asking, what part of me have I buried? What desire did I silence? What emotion did I outlaw? What version of me did I kill? And then, letting the answers surface, slowly, painfully, honestly. Because awareness is liberating. Awareness breaks the spell. Awareness gives you choices. When you make the unconscious conscious, it loses its power to hollow you out. 5 practices to begin healing the void. Let's make this actionable. 1. Notice your escape routes. Observe when you reach for distraction. Scrolling, snacking, working, texting, binge watching. Each escape masks a feeling. Name it. 2. Desire archaeology. Finish this sentence. A part of me that I've silenced is the part that wants blank. Write 5 versions. Don't censor. Don't moralize. Let it spill. 3. Trace the void. Next time emptiness hits, ask, when have I felt this before? Let memory answer. Don't force it. Your body remembers what your mind forgets. 4. Sit with the emptiness. 5 minutes. No phone, no music, no distraction. Just you and the void. Feel what rises. It's not emptiness. It's buried emotion. 5. Ask Freud's question. Before chasing anything, a partner, achievement, purchase, experience, ask, what feeling am I actually trying to create? Then ask, when did I first lose that feeling? This is the doorway to the truth. The void is not your enemy. You're not empty because you failed. You're empty because you survived. You adapted. You repressed. You became who you needed to be. But your authentic self didn't die. It's waiting for permission to return. The void is the space it left behind. And space can be filled with truth, with expression, with desire, with emotion, with you. Final reflection quest. Before you leave, answer this in one sentence. When do you feel most disconnected from yourself? Name the moment, because naming it weakens it. And once you begin this process, something unexpected will happen. As the void shrinks, your potential expands. Your desires awaken. Your authentic self returns. And that's when you face your next psychological battle. The fear of success. Why we sabotage ourselves right before breakthrough. Why our unconscious fears having what we want. Why success feels dangerous. That's the next episode. The unconscious reason you fear success. Don't miss it. Until then, the void isn't your ending. It's your beginning.